Hi, my name is Danielle Ciotti, and I am doing a screencast today about life beyond Earth. So my inquiry question is, what constitutes life beyond Earth? Since I was little, I was always very interested in space and learning about planets in our solar system. As I got older, my interest grew, and I started to wonder about aliens and what else could be out there in our universe. I feel that it is very important to learn about what is going on in outer space and what might possibly happen in the future regarding possible life on other planets. My thesis statement is NASA techniques and exoplanet findings, as well as Hollywood's depiction of extraterrestrials, contributes to what helps constitute life beyond Earth. I will be talking about NASA techniques that are used to find planets that may contain life. Also, what planets were found that was considered to possibly contain life. And lastly, I will mention some of Hollywood's depictions of aliens. So, the definition of NASA, which is a National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is that it's a federal agency that does research for its space program. So there are many different techniques used to help find life on other planets in our universe. Some of them include the Kepler telescope and the TESS satellite. The most recent and most advanced search technique is technosignatures. And technosignatures are radio or light emissions emitted from other planets. They look for signs of structures or atmospheres full of pollutants that could show intelligence. Tricia Talbert, a multimedia designer for NASA, plays a very important role in the technosignature findings. Talbert has been helping NASA with designs, and she explains what technosignatures are all about and why they are important search techniques for NASA. Talbert, in response to NASA's astrobiology strategy, states that complex life may evolve into cognitive systems that can employ technology in ways that may be observable. Nobody knows the probability, but we know that it is not zero. As we consider the environments of other planets, technosignatures could be included in the possible interpretations of data we get from other worlds. I used Talbert's ideas about how technosignatures are used and why they are important for constituting life beyond Earth. I mentioned how the signals from the radio frequencies are significant in finding signals from other planets as well. Without technosignatures, we may never hear from potential life in the universe. So next I'll be talking about exoplanet findings. So Gliese 667cc is a potential Earth-like planet that was discovered by NASA through the Kepler mission. Gliese is considered to be Earth-like because of its size, also because of its habitability potential. There is a presence of liquid water which contains water molecules. This exoplanet is rated highly on the habitability scale because it may contain big oceans, water cycles, and potentially life. Ben Barres, an astronaut for NASA, is an important scholar for this finding. He served on a crew of NASA's Kuiper Airborne Observatory, and he stated that it should be noted that this is what scientists mean by habitability. Conditions such as liquid water could exist given the adequate atmosphere and an abundance of water molecules. This definition does not require that a human being could survive in that environment. I use Barres's water findings and habitability findings in my understanding of this exoplanet and how it contains to finding life beyond Earth. The element of water is significant for human beings and other forms of life to survive. The next topic is Hollywood's depiction of aliens. So the depiction of aliens comes from our imagination, or they are a product of someone else's imagination, which is shown in movies and books. Filmmakers follow rules that they know about aliens, and they do this because they want to sell their ideas. They want to sell something that is real and tangible. People depict aliens as having an element of a human being because most of the time in movies, they are using a person in a costume or they're using special effects. Hollywood movies show aliens based on the principles of basic science. And Dion Lee is a fashion designer and he has experience with depicting aliens in a certain way for movies. Lee said that we are all wondering about the same thing. Some people draw pictures, some people make movies about it, some people make music about it, and some people talk to their friends or family. And some scientists tried to determine the answer using the principles of basic science and observational astronomy. But it's all part of the same human question, which is, are we alone? So I use Lee's ideas that aliens are depicted in movies through a person's imagination. One of the difficulties of knowing how they would look is that we do not know what their evolution is. We only know our own. And this shows that aliens seem to be mainly our imagination, and we try to back that up with scientific reasoning. This helps us better understand what we perceive aliens to look like and act like if we were to discover that potential life. So, after exploring all the possibilities that were discovered through time, I have come to the conclusion that many areas help constitute life beyond Earth. I found out after researching many different topics that NASA's search techniques such as Kepler tests and technosignatures help with the findings of possible life. Exoplanet findings help constitute life beyond Earth too, because they need to have water molecules and an atmosphere to be habitable. Many of the Earth-like planets that were found contain these habitable features. And Hollywood alien depictions help us with possible insights of what the extraterrestrials may look like or how they may act. And lastly, I would like to ask everyone some questions. So, how much further on technological advances do we need to make to discover life on other planets? Will we ever launch manned exploration missions to find life beyond our planet? And lastly, do countries around the world have the resources to discover life and inhabit it beyond and on Earth? Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation about what constitutes life beyond Earth. I hope you enjoyed it.